I think there's a huge misconception about using this as a filmmaking device. What I do recommend using your phone for is pre-shooting your scenes. It can really get you a lot of your coverage figured out before you bring your bigger camera in, start setting up tripods and lighting, and you can pre-shoot a lot of your scenes to see, does the composition work? We did this extensively on our last project. We got on set at 6 p.m., wrapped it at 6 a.m. the next day, and shot one of the coolest projects that I think I've ever done. So let's talk about it. All right, ready, settle, and action. Cool, and why don't we start with the bag being pulled off? The golden rule to making a great film anywhere at any time is capturing clean audio and clean visuals on location. This is why productions spend crazy amounts of money to capture characters talking to each other in remote locations. And this leads me to one of the biggest mistakes most filmmakers make. We look at 90% of our footage through a tiny monitor smaller than a cell phone. And there's a lot you can't see. Focus breathing, bad exposure, gear in the shot, or just poorly composed angles. And these things become more and more critical the higher the stakes are with your production, meaning higher budget, more people involved, etc., etc. Which leads me into something I should have bought years ago. These are the small footprint tools we use to make an epic action film in the span of one night. Specifically one that I wish I bought years ago. I can't believe we just shot this.
Guys, are we making a movie?
Did we just shoot that? This is a wireless video feed, specifically the DJI wireless transmitting system. I'm gonna see how far I can take this transmitter. I'm just gonna go down the road. Here we go. Still impeccable reception. 50 feet away from the camera. About 100 feet away from my camera. In no means is this video sponsored by DJI, but holy crap, I use all of their products, including this finger microphone. I'm gonna be speaking specifically about this transmitter because they gave it to me, but it's gonna be an unbiased view. They didn't pay me, they're not sponsoring this video. I just really like their products and they all work really well together. First off, if you know anything about this, it has a crazy transmission signal, meaning it can go for hundreds of feet without any interference. We shot in this dark, dingy concrete warehouse with lots of interference, and there was no signal interruption. But the biggest thing I want to talk about is how it can integrate into a production set. Now, the first thing is you're going to see that we were using the small monitor. I like this because it's more portable and you can move around with it, but you can connect this with massive larger monitors using the SDI or HDMI. I've got this connected to my Atmos for several reasons that are game changer. The biggest and most important one is it's small enough for me to bring around on set or just give to someone if they want to see the shot. I'm shooting the scene and the other director is watching the frame, or sometimes, since he was actually acting in the movie, he could see his blocking and positioning while looking at the monitor, and I was just signaling the shot up. The biggest thing is you can see your exposure on your shot. This little rainbow waveform can give you a lot of information and data about what's happening. It's sort of like the Matrix, but for video shots. Green means it's properly exposed, red meaning it's overexposed, and blue saying that it's underexposed. You can toggle this on and see whether or not your shot is good without a LUT or even any proper colors. Then when you turn this off, you know that your shot is exposed the way you want it to. I can toggle on several different LUTs that I have downloaded into the display to see what the final product is going to look like. Dude.
Share with your friends.
Oh my God. It comes in this beautiful hard shell Pelican style case. Inside it, you get batteries, cables, and obviously the video transmitters. If you have any more of the recent DJI gimbals, you can actually connect this directly to that system and have it mounted at the bottom. Now, a quick disclaimer, it didn't balance as well as I wanted it to. I actually had to put a microphone on the top, which isn't the worst, but with the weight of my camera, it wasn't balancing correctly, so I had to counterbalance with putting some stuff on the top. But if, let's say, your camera is a little bit lighter, this might throw off the balance a little bit, which in that case, you can just mount this onto the side of your gimbal without having it onto the stabilizer itself. Now, some of the sweet features about this is there's no big installation setup. As soon as you turn it on, they connect directly, and after a few seconds, you get feed transmitted to your monitor without any hassle. You can use the batteries that it comes with that have a crazy battery life. We shot for 6 hours. I didn't turn this off once and it stayed connected the entire time. If you want to use other batteries like these guys, you can change the mount really simply by unscrewing the mounting with an Allen key, popping in the adapter, and now you can use the batteries that you're familiar with and maybe you have a million of in your kit. But I like these because they remind me of the DJI drone batteries that give you a little bit of a read of how much battery life is left by clicking onto the back. So you don't even have to have it connected to anything without knowing your power level. Since we were shooting an action film, there was a lot that could go wrong as far as the image, and I really felt way more secure, and it really helped out having the other director, Charlie Hamilton, on the other side of the transmission, viewing the shot in case anything went wrong. You always want to double up your support on set. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And having a team behind you can really make the project so much better. One of the best reasons of having wireless transmission or just a secondary monitor on set on a shoot is so that people aren't hovering over your camera whenever they're viewing the shot or you're watching playback. You can get it to play back on a monitor, people can see it on a bigger screen, and then you're not getting fingers poked onto your primary monitor that you're using. But not only does this help with your independent productions, but when you're working on a larger scale, client is going to want to see frame. And either you have a monitor attached to a long HDMI, or if you do wireless video feed, they're not hovering over your shoulder or you're not tethered to some sort of device. So the DJI transmitting combo also comes with its own monitoring system. Whenever you're doing more complex shots and you have a camera operator and you just want to operate the camera movement, this monitor has all of those capabilities. Now there'll be a link to that in the description below if you want to take a look at it. But if you want the monitor combo, DJI provides that. So,
I'm on the 85 right here.
Chris has got the 85. So from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m., we shot a Batman fan film. This was a proof of concept to see if we could actually achieve something that we dreamed of doing as young filmmakers. Set out to shoot this 4-page action film to build the suspense, see what the suit looked like, how did we operate with doing stunts and single camera action scenes, and what we got as the end result was something really exciting. And I'm so stoked to show you guys the project because it's, I don't know, probably one of my favorite things that we shot. Definitely one of the coolest looking things I've ever done. Now, if you're interested, here's some of the gear we used in our shoot to improve the scenes. We filmed in a warehouse that we couldn't afford to make look cool, so we stuck semi-transparent painter sheets all over the walls to create a practical diffusion for our filming lights and narrow our frame for shots. And it looked super cool. I shot everything on my Ronin S2 with a 50mm 1.4 art lens for one particular reason: speed. While I would have loved to have set up different rigs like a dolly, tripod, and a slider, I knew it would have sacrificed time. Since we only had the night to shoot this, I emulated all of this coverage that I needed to capture on my Ronin. And I was really happy with the results. Okay, lighting is obviously key for our production. Each space looked like it was its own environment, from this green, rainy ambience to this flickering fluorescent bulb look and lightning strikes blasting down the hallway. All of this was achieved by lighting and cinematic masters Robin and Chris, and they were on the production side of things. We'll talk more about them and their sky panel lighting systems in other videos. Most importantly, lighting played a huge element to making every scene look cinematic. Finally, I got our cast to redo all of their lines while recording directly into my Zoom H4n. This is called running wild lines, and it's one of the best ways to record ADR because the performance is fresh in the actor's mind and the ambience of the space matches what you see on screen. Probably seen a couple little glimpses of some things in this behind the scenes that leans into what we'll be talking about in a future video. The project is super duper cool and I'm so excited for you to see it. I could not have done this without the tools that I used and the incredible team that I got to work with, whether it was lighting master Chris Morsby, my directing partner in crime, Charlie Hamilton, our Sean Bishop and his stunt crew who he brought out, who just crushed it on this shoot. Beth? Our beautiful production is. I was just saying your name in the video. What do you want?
That's what my job is like, though.
And last but not least, Beth Mcleod, who fucking crushed it with being a production designer, a wardrobe person, doing makeup, setting up the location, creating this cool rain rig. If you want a little bit of a deeper dive into the stuff that I'm working on and maybe accelerate your filmmaking abilities to create stuff that you're seeing right now, I'm actually working on something really exciting beyond just the Batman film that I want you guys, Batman Beyond, that I want you guys to take a look at. You can hit a link in the description below and go give that a gander. Basically, you're just gonna sign up for a waiting list for something that I'm cooking up that you're hearing first here. If you haven't already, a lot of you haven't subscribed yet, so it'd be amazing to get some of your lovely support. I'm gonna go enjoy beautiful BC wilderness today, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye.